oh well, it's not healthy to delay your food and you need food to focus. And it's at that point I knew this guy was probably gay. When you're a leader and other people are in better shape than you and they know martial arts, like, you're gonna feel a bit insecure still. Charlie Morgan will probably kill me for saying this. Man, it doesn't matter how much of this kind of self-growth that I do, it doesn't matter how much I convince myself I've got things all figured out, I've still got this itch to just constantly work. Like, I'm sat in traffic and I'm getting anxious. It's not okay anymore to just be successful in business but be fat. It's not okay to just be in good shape and not have any money. Next week I'm moving into an apartment, and over the past couple of years when I was running my businesses and taking these massive risks, I was living with my parents. What's up, bro? So I've had a pretty killer morning, smashed my 5 AM wake up as always, and then got straight to some deep work. This video today, I'm going to take you through a day of how I actually optimize my productivity in the gym, outside of the gym, and whilst working. Whether you're in sales, whether you're a business owner, whatever it is, and whether you're just someone that's just trying to get started and wants a clear direction of how a productive day actually looks, that's what we're going to go through. So I've blasted out the morning work. Laptop's on charge now. It's been I probably juiced it this morning, and it's now 11 AM, so I've got at least 4 hours deep working, and I'm gonna go eat my first meal of the day now, just to get a few carbs in, get some protein flowing, get the metabolism boosted, and then start to get more work done and then hit the gym in a few hours. So I'll take you guys with me. Something that I've been trying to focus on more recently is trying to actually optimize for productivity, because I ran my sales agency last year, but all I focused on was just constant output, to the point where I actually sacrificed my own self. I sacrificed my own growth, I sacrificed my development, I sacrificed my fitness, and it's like I was putting so many hours into the business, and yes, we were getting good results, but the more that I did that, the less progress I saw within my own self, and that led to like people disrespecting me, that led to us not seeing profits. We were seeing big weeks of revenue, but not much profit. So then I had to realize that I had to go back to the basics to actually develop myself into someone that can succeed. So a big thing I like to do is earn my meals, because there's no such thing as a free lunch, and I always work better fasted. Or everyone talks about this, but I don't like really doing deep work when I've got food in my stomach, because I don't have that fire and that intensity. And oh my god, there's actually so many flipping soy boys online as well, and just people that I knew. When I was running the sales agency last year, I used to tell the reps as like a competition thing, I was like, don't eat until you've got like however many sales that you said you wanted to get in the day. So whether they wanted 1 or 2, when we were selling boilers and stuff, I'd be like, yeah, just don't eat until then. And then we had this one guy come in, and he started building a team under me, and he started being like, oh well, it's not healthy to delay your food and you need food to focus. And it's at that point I knew this guy was probably gay. So I've never believed in this notion of you need food. If anything, you perform better without it, and it acts as a reward to actually go and get your goals. It's like when we were hunter-gatherers, we weren't sat there like, oh yeah, well, I just need food to be able to go and hunt for food. No, we're hunters, so we may as well go kill our animal in the form of getting our work done and then eat. Because I'm also not going to be someone that just eats once a day, because, flipping out, how many times have I just said because? I'm not going to be someone that eats once a day. I need to get in the best shape possible so that I can perform the best, and I can have the most self-respect and this respect and adoration of others, and look after the vessel that God's given us. So that's why after 4 or 5 hours of work and morning cardio, I will reward myself with some spaghetti bolognese. I'm going to show you guys how it looks in a sec. So the way I do it, I'll cook a kilo or just over a kilo of mince, and that'll last me maybe 3 days. So if you look here, there's some mince. I'll only put minimal pasta in. Like, I'm not trying to overload calories on pasta because I'm cutting right now. So I'm just gonna add the mince. Oh, sorry guys, the camera's not doing what I want it to. You get the gist. So we're not trying to go crazy on the pasta, especially first meal of the day. And I'm having this meal now at 11. I'm gonna let it digest whilst I get some more work done. And I'm training at like 4 p.m. today, so I'm gonna overload on protein here, program my metabolism to stay lean, and make sure I've knocked down like half the day's protein. And then I'm gonna have some fruit before the pre-workout, and hitting a back and forearm session. But in the meantime, I'm gonna smash some workout. Next week, I'm moving into an apartment. And over the past couple of years, when I was running my businesses and taking these massive risks, I was living with my parents. And I'm blessed for them to actually have been able to put a roof over my head, because I don't know what would have happened if not. One of the great things is, my mum just preps the mince. So now when I move out, I'm going to have to prep it myself. The thing is, I'm not going to be someone that eats 7 times a day, or does all those kind of things, because this is why people excuse themselves for being fat. They're like, oh, I don't have time to cook. Or the people that are just like shredded but don't have anything else going for them spend half the day in the kitchen. We're optimizing for all of it. So if we could just prep like 2 or 3 kilos of mince at this, like on a Sunday night, and then do the same for chicken or whatever else you're doing. And then if you can find restaurants where you can eat out, for example, I'll eat Nando's like 2 or 3 times a week, because I know that it fits my macros and I get like 100 grams of protein every time I go there. So it's all about optimizing for all of this. There's no excuse to not be in shape and not prioritize the gym whilst we're chasing business, because it's only going to benefit us. Right, so this meal has effectively been earned. The camera angle's not that good. Let's see if I can move here. Right, so you can see primarily mince, primarily meat, because I'm not trying to go heavy on carbs now when I've still got it. It's just to get them in my system and then build up that bank, that glycogen bank, before I go train later. If I was going to go train straight away, I'd be eating a lot more, but because I'm going to be working for the next 4.5 hours, I'm not trying to overload myself there. But it comes back to that thing, like, people just love to overcomplicate everything and use it as an excuse and cop out. Like, I used to eat meal deals when I'd be running my sales agency, and eating loads of fast food, just convincing myself that it was protein and that that's what I had to eat out of necessity, but it wasn't true. And the fatter I got, the more that I've just indulged in pleasure there, the fatter I got, the less people respected me, and we were generating more revenue than ever. Like, we were putting through crazy weeks of sales volume, but a lot of it just didn't convert. We had a lot of back-end fulfillment issues. My ego was really high because we were the best sales team in the country, but I couldn't fix the fulfillment issues because I didn't respect myself enough to, and I just listened to what all the clients we were working with were the dreams they were selling us. So that was my fault. But as soon as I started putting these practices back into play again, started getting back into great shape and started to respect myself, then everything else did a 360. So you can always prioritize both. And the funny thing is, the more you focus on your own development, the more progress you see in every single metric. Alright, letting the food digest. And I do this because I'm not going to sacrifice my steps. People talk about get 10k steps in a day. Like, I'm not just going to go randomly walk around. I'm going to do something productive. I can make a video and talk to you guys like this. I can think about the next idea for what I want to implement in business. I'm Muslim, so sometimes I can recite Quran or du'as, just anything productive, because when you become obsessed and center your whole life around work, everything becomes work. This is work. It's helping me get my steps in, making sure that I stay lean. When you go on the digestion walk, it helps your food digest better, and I think it does something to your blood sugar levels. Gets rid of all that bloating, you know. Like, I used to be so bloated last year. I never did cardio. I'd go to the gym for like half an hour, and the whole time I'd be typing on my phone, just trying to sort things out for the sales team. And it would make me less productive because I'd just be stressing. And I thought that just optimizing at a level of constant stress was productive. I didn't feel that convicted when I was running sales meetings and when I was trying to overcome plots. And sometimes I get insecure by guys on the team that were in better shape than me, thinking, oh, they can come to my position, because I knew that I wasn't living up to my fullest potential. I knew that I was just putting everything into the business, and the more that I did that, the less I actually got out. Also, like, walks in nature, you got to appreciate God's creation. The more you have that remembrance of God, say subhanallah, look at the trees, look at this force that had to outgrow all the other trees. The more you become ingrained in what it means to actually live on this earth and live in this life, and everything is a war of attrition. It's not okay anymore to just be successful in business but be fat. It's not okay to just be in good shape and not have any money, because it's a very competitive world that we live in. And naturally, the better in shape I got, the more respect I got, the more I could command respect in meetings, the more people would look up to me. And that's been the best thing. Like, everyone that comes into the coaching, we build custom systems for you to actually better yourself and actually start living with purpose and clarity, rather than just channeling everything into one area of your life and then not seeing much returns otherwise. Another thing I think about a lot is I still got respect as a leader when I was out of shape, because people respected my work ethic. But to be a true leader, you need to lead from the front in every single metric. I started to under prioritize my family life, and I'm trying to make more of a conscious effort to do that now. Like, when I'm moving out now, I'm going to have more time to dedicate to myself without interruptions. So when I do spend time with my family, I'm going to be more focused and actually present, rather than just getting annoyed because they've spoken loud and got me off my track and all that kind of stuff. People get the best version of ourselves. And I just think about it, man. Think about like our wives, girlfriends, our family. They look at us with all the success, with the monetary success, whilst conducting ourselves properly, whilst having a great connection with God. Just think about the more impact we can make, and the more we can be that role model that actually shines through. When you're just in shape, people naturally give you better opportunities. I wouldn't have been able to start my sales agency if I wasn't in shape at the start, and I let the ego of running the business get to my head, where I thought I didn't have to focus on all these other habits. I didn't have to focus on all of these other things, but these are the foundations, the basics that carry us to every level. At every level, we're just increasingly getting better at the basics. This is what the desk of a productive man looks like. I'm fueling up with this fruit now, pre-workout, and I'm just finishing the last bits of work. Gonna pick my boy up, and then we're gonna go hit a back session. I love this top. It makes me feel pretty juicy, but I'm gonna hit back and forearm, so I'm gonna work you through the methodology of why I do that, because I've changed my training split now. I've changed it to the point where I can focus on each muscle group properly and focus on my cardio, because I'm taking the cut properly. Because we can put on all the muscle we want. I used to think like, oh, if I've got muscle, then people respect me. But people can see the fat in your face. People can see the fat when you exhale. And to make us actually productive and proficient in sales or business or in our opportunities or in our jobs and just in our life, it's more of an advantage for us to be lean and then obviously build up from there. So that's why I'm taking the cut more serious. Complete opposite to what I did last year. But I just noticed I feel way better. And when you feel better, you act better. And when you act better, you make more money. And that is the recipe to life. It is now time for the upcoming gym session. Fueled up. Nice. I like it when you can walk around England with a t-shirt on. Makes it somewhat bearable. I'm gonna go pick up Brad from the barbers now, my boy Brad, who worked on the sales team with us last year and reverted to Islam, alhamdulillah. And he's been through the ringer with us, so he's more jacked than me as well, so it always makes me want to push harder. It's always good to surround yourself with these environments, you know, people doing better than you in some regard. So let's go. I'll catch you boys in a second. I remember doing some dreaded gym workouts here with me and Brad when we were running the sales team.
Zero sale there.
We made no sales and we'd be forced to come to the gym.
Smoothies now.
Yeah, they got a smoothie bar. We literally have no money, nothing, and still have to come to the gym, still have to put a shift in. And we've just caught my brother Akhi Fawad. Huh? You don't know who's coming? Yeah, he's gone for a trim. He was going to go Revert's meeting, but it's off. Is there any other? Yeah. Is there anything else on? But Brad. Not been today.
You said when you were in your mints earlier you go to the gym.
No, I didn't. I had fruit. On the video I said I'm going to have this now so the carbs can come and then I'm going to have more fruit and go gym at 4. Nigga. Bro, this thing's sick.
It's good quality, isn't it?
It can do 4K but it's on 1080p right now. Finished up, back and forearms. It was more of a slow workout, I'll be real. So normally I'm going pedal to the metal, super intense. But when you're working all the time, and I only really talk to this camera, my brother, it's good to have a catch up with your boy. So me and Brad did a lot of in-depth talking today. When it becomes like novel in this manner, like you're always working super hard and then you have a catch up with your boys, rewarding, but I don't want to be around my boys and just talk about nothing, you know? I only want to talk about work, business, progress, all that kind of stuff, and that's all we do talk about. And there was a time when I just craved to have like-minded people around me, but like-minded people, like when you're not worthy of value, aren't like-minded, they're actually on a higher level than you. Like I remember when I was finishing uni and I was trying to get into some kind of like online business and all this stuff, and I was like, yeah, I just need to be around like-minded people. But I wasn't like-minded because I was still doing drugs and I was still a degenerate and I still wanted to party. So in that instance, I realized that I just have to either pay them to learn from them, I have to provide them value by using whatever skills I've got to give them some input, or I can work for them. And I did all three at that point, and even still I still invest in mentors, I still invest in coaches. I had to work under people to do my door-to-door sales job and start the agency, and I'm always just trying to provide value. Like now, alhamdulillah, I'm at a point where I've got some accolades, I've made some progress in my life, so when it comes to having more value to provide, it's a bit easier. Like there's guys in communities that I talk to that are way more successful than me, and using that as the benchmark always makes me want to strive for more, especially when you're around people that are like ripped like Brad, and then people that are like a bit further ahead in business and people a bit behind in business. It's good to have that ecosystem of people keeping each other accountable. That's what we had last year with the sales team.
Yeah.
Brad's just been dozed out. I'm like, Brad!
It's so hot in this car, bro.
I'll put the window down.
Oh my god. Oh, that's calm.
Yeah, last year, running the agency, like, I think I mentioned this morning, Brad and Eden were always in sick shape. and I was running the business. But when you're a leader and other people are in better shape than you and they know martial arts, you're gonna feel a bit insecure still, because you're like, all right, well, I'm all right at business, but this person could do X, Y, Z. This person might have more gravitas than me. Oh, flipping bastard.
That's not.
So that's why it's so important to prioritize every realm, you know? Do you agree?
Definitely agree.
Excel every aspect. Gimbal.
Doing the gimbal.
Gimbal.
This is gonna Uber like.
So, how was your night?
Oi!
Turning off the gimbal. Man, it doesn't matter how much of this kind of self-growth that I do. It doesn't matter how much I convince myself I've got things all figured out. I've still got this itch to just constantly work. Like, I'm sat in traffic and I'm getting anxious. I did that gym workout and I took longer than I should have, and I'm still getting anxious. And I'm still always just looking for a way to squeeze the most juice out of the day. And I don't know whether this is a bad thing, because when we've got massive goals and ambitions, like, the gap between where I am right now and where I want to go is so big that when I cease to be productive for a second, it seems like I immediately start doubting myself and questioning everything. And to be honest, if I didn't have a relationship with Allah, all of this would overwhelm me too much. All of this would be way too much. Now, that's the one thing that keeps me super grounded, just knowing that it's all up to Allah. It's all up to God, the creator of the universe. He's the one who ordains my success. As long as I keep him in my life, as long as I keep him at the center of my heart, and I pray to him 5 times a day, then my worries are going to be alleviated, and I'm going to have guidance. I'm going to have clarity and focus towards my mission. And when I ran the agency last year and I was under prioritizing Allah, it's like I could never find this way out of the solutions. Like, I'd still get the same anxiety feeling that I've got now, but I couldn't problem solve properly. Like, my only problem solving ability was around aggression. I just aggressively attacked the solution, and yeah, I'd get short-term fixes. Like, I'd start imposing, like, I'd turn into a bit of a dictator. I'd be like, right, well, if you guys don't show up to the sales reps, I'd be like, if you guys don't show up to a meeting, then you get a strike and all this kind of stuff. And like, yeah, I was imposing discipline. Yeah, it kept people working hard, but I wasn't really leading from the front because my connection with Allah wasn't where it needed to be. So I'd lash out more than I should have. I would sometimes, like, consider doing the immoral thing. I had a falling out with one of my business partners, and because I was working with these clients who didn't care about him and kind of wanted to disrespect and snake him, they didn't want to pay him for the work that he'd done, and they tried to rationalize me not paying him for the work that he'd done. Because my relationship with Allah wasn't all the way there, I was like, yeah, well, you're right. But now I look back, I was like, no, you should have been paid. And it's just little things like this. Like, the more that we lead with rationality, the more that we lead with morality, the more that we have a relationship with God, the more blessing he puts in our business, the more blessing he puts in our growth, the more blessing he puts in our earnings. So developing that connection with Allah again, when I started turning to him more and I started surrendering, I'm still able to attack with the same aggressive energy, and I'm still able to, I still get anxious, like I'm not being productive enough, but I've got more of a sense of calm, and naturally that's helped me make way more money, that's helped me be way more focused, that's helped me give more time to the things that matter, and I saw more progress in my business and my life as well. So without the divine guidance, I don't think I would have turned my life around the way that I have. And still, I've got a massive way to go, but I'm grateful to have the creator of the universe with me, inshallah. And I don't want anything to come and break this barrier. And it's the same for you guys. Like, you might not even be Muslim, but having that connection with God is essential. Grinded out majority of the work this afternoon, and now all of the flipping haters You know, all of these flipping nutritionists, fitness guys. Oh, I need to spend 7 hours in the kitchen a day to make my food look really nice and glossy. I love to hate on chicken and rice, but it's a simple meal. It's always gonna... Every time I eat chicken breast, I look like chicken breast. You know, when you're not eating too unhealthy and you've got everything else in check. Every time I've got super shredded, it's been due to this. But it's that whole concept of earn the meals. I'm not gonna eat unless I finish my morning work and then it's time to go and train, and then I'm gonna eat this as my final meal of the day. Go for a digestion walk, and then do my last bits of work for the evening. Charlie Morgan will probably kill me for saying this. Whenever I meet him, it's actually a bad habit, because when people try to talk to me, unless like everyone's around the table, I don't like it, because I don't get much time to watch educational stuff. Only when I'm in doing my morning cardio or when I'm eating, I can watch an educational YouTube video. And whether I'm actually absorbing that knowledge or not, I don't know. It's better to take notes from it. But I just like to always feel like I've got the momentum. You know, that constantly I'm doing something productive, constantly I'm taking in something. Because even if I take one nugget from that video and apply it, then I've got better, you know? But recently I've been trying to find that balance. Not balance, I hate that word, but time to give to other people, because I don't think me being sat around people working is productive, and I don't think it's fair on them, because I don't like getting interrupted. I don't like being in a house where people are talking and screaming. Even if it's not impacting me, it still affects my thoughts, it still affects my thinking. If I want to make a video, it still impacts me. So when I do want to spend time with people, whether it be family, friends, whatever, I want to make sure I'm present, which is why I think that isolation factor, putting yourself away, going and moving somewhere, or that kind of stuff, it actually allows you to show up for people in a better way. It allows you to be more of yourself when you're there, and it means that you can prioritise your work and prioritise people at the same time. But you can't do both at the same time, if that makes sense. So, blasted through all the day. You guys were with me for most of it. I had that meal, did the digestion walk, finished my last few tasks, and I'm reading a book. You got to see my light as well. Reading $100 Million Offers for Mosey, and I've done my 545 before bed. So 545, obviously got my 5 goals that I'm going to achieve in the next 3 to 6 months. The 4-step morning routine for tomorrow, 5 a.m. wake up tomorrow, but it's going to be 4 a.m. again soon. And my 4-step morning routine to give me that flow and optimal efficiency where I'm springing up, instantly action, instant engagement, instant getting towards my goals. And this is how the whole system works together. It's constant execution, constantly prioritizing all the things that are going to move me forward in every single metric. And that's what I love, as the daily progress that I love. I just told my dad that I'm going to be moving out next week, inshallah, to an apartment with one of my boys. It's kind of bittersweet, because being here over the past couple of years afforded me a lot of time to make risks, and now I'm taking an even bigger risk, because I don't know what's in store for the next few weeks or the next few months, but it's going to be a big bet on myself. Inshallah, I can really tap into that next level and start providing for my family even more and go into new heights of success. This is what we do it for, guys. It's always the overarching purpose. We've got people that are counting on us to actually be our best selves and be our highest selves, and just as long as we're putting in that daily effort every day, we're going to afford them a life that they could only even imagine. But that comes through showing up in every metric, being close to God, being in the best shape, striving to be our best selves every day, the most confident, the most charismatic, everything. And how finances comes on top of that. The more that we develop ourselves and show up for them, we're all going to crush it, boys. keep pushing. I'll see you on the next one.